Ready? I'll count it in.
Okay.
It's the Brew 105.9. You're listening to Tanner in the Morning. Special guest Jay Mohr.
Let's do the Jay and Tanner show. We'll just talk out of our foreheads the rest of the program.
It is crazy. Look at the Hooters girls in here. Piling, and these chicks are hot.
Yeah, that's just Bozic, actually, in the corner.
Bozic. Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? Jay Mohr?
I'm fired up. I got off an airplane yesterday, cut it real close, and I literally went from the airport to Helium Comedy Club. It was sold out, standing ovation. I was like, wow, what a welcome.
Did you really get a standing O?
Yeah, I'd be a real creep if I made that up.
Just making it up.
Bro, 1,000 people in that little tiny club. It was amazing.
You're going to be at Helium tonight. You got 2 shows, I do believe.
Yeah, come to if you can,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen listening. The second show is a little light. Second show Friday is always hard for a comic. Look, come on, Portland Rally. Come to the second show. You can get hammered.
You know what I'm fascinated about?
Get pregnant.
Are stories about you getting pregnant and stories about you failing miserably, like when you first started comedy. Because I'm fascinated by stand-up comedy. When you go up there and you get, you just have a crappy show, people are booing you. I mean, can you count how many bad shows you've had, or is that in the past?
Well, they are in the past, and that's what's great about comedy is unlike sports or other fields of work, the longer you do it, the less likely it is it's not going to go well. I've been doing 28 years, but yeah, that first 10 years, it's tough because you don't know what you're saying, you don't know what works. Like now, I don't. Right. My wife writes probably half my act, and she's so funny. Like, I just filmed a Showtime special that was an hour of just her stuff.
Really?
And, like, I don't have to go, quote-unquote, like, go try it out to see. Like, I know.
You just know it's going to work.
I know it's going to work.
Can you remember the worst show you ever had? Like, you just thought this joke was going to kill, and it killed the mood?
I had some bad. I grew up on the East Coast, and I had a lot of open mic nights that I did, and there were like a lot of mob rooms, like mafia-run clubs.
Really?
And it was like a bar. When you come up in comedy, it's literally a bar, and people are dancing, and they stop the music, and they hand you a mic,
and nobody wants to hear.
Go on out there and make everybody happy now, all right?
Go and make everybody laugh.
Do it, you animal. And I was getting heckled once by a boxer. I didn't know it at the time, but some guy was heckling me. He was like this big guy. Big, like, creepy white guy. And I was in high school. I started when I was 16. So I was 17, 112 pounds. And I'm like, how about I come down there and kick your ass? I was much more dirty than that.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, hey, this kid's all right. And then everybody, like, let me up the hook.
So threatening to beat people up is what works.
Turns out the guy was the Bayonne Bleeder, Chuck Wepner. He fought Muhammad Ali. Just would not go down. His nickname was the Bayonne Bleeder. And that's the guy I chose to, like, heckle. But my first show I ever did, I was 16. And it was an open mic night at a local comedy club in New Jersey, and they wanted to have a teenage comedy night.
Yeah.
And so the audition was at noon on a Sunday for other 16-year-olds. So my first show, you can't get worse than that. The audience was like 15-year-olds.
Right.
But I never belonged to a crew or a clique. I was never, like, popular. I was a wrestler, and that's a monastic life. You're just kind of like a lone wolf. You wake up early and you run when it's dark out and all that. And then I was also a comic. But the first time I did comedy, after I got off stage, somebody said, hey, on Tuesday night there's an open mic in Montclair, New Jersey, and you want to come with me? And then another guy would say, oh, I'm going to that too. And then I realized in a matter of a half hour, I had a group. All of a sudden, I was a part of this
I had a click all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden, this is my crew. That's why I don't fit in, because I'm a comic. But until you try it, you don't know it. And for all you aspiring comics out there, try it. Just get out there and try it.
I've done it a couple of times, and the last time I did it
You're bad. I've seen you.
It was so horrible.
Yeah,
Jay.
you should. I'm glad you're doing this.
I shouldn't even be doing this. This is bad. I'm bad at this, too.
Why were you bad? Do you think you were bad?
I was horrible. Okay, so let me...
First of all, the fact that you went up and tried it in the first place, that's to be applauded.
I think so.
No, I know so. It's the #1 fear in the world.
I felt like I was going to throw up before I went up there. I really felt like I was going to throw up. And as soon as you get up there, you're okay. But like I felt, like I was sick. And I remember I went up and I had this joke. It was right when, even when I repeat it to myself now, I don't even know why I thought it was funny.
All right, but maybe we can fix it.
Maybe we can. So the joke was,
Doctor
it was
with
right.
Jay Mohr, Helium Comedy Club, 2 shows tonight and tomorrow.
It was right when the TSA said that they're allowing pocket knives on airplanes now. And I just wrote this on the drive to the club, and I thought, all right, well, the TSA is now allowing pocket knives onto airplanes. Still banned by the TSA, common courtesy and respect for passengers. So we have a long way to go. Nobody laughed. I even heard one guy in the background go, "Shut up!" Worst moment of my life.
Well, first of all, how you just said it to me right now, you said it far too fast.
I kind of sped through it, right?
Is that how you did it on stage?
No, a little slower, a little more, it was a little more comedic delivery. Not much.
I'll encourage you. That is a fine enough premise to build from, and you go, that's good. They allow pocket knives. Apparently, still banned. Courtesy and respect. You could tag it a lot. Like that's great. I can bring a pocket knife, and the TSA agent can still feel up my wife's boobs.
See, there we go.
Some make believe bomb my wife seems to have on the end of her nipples every time we fly.
I also had another one that I admit this is really.
You want to move on from that one? I was going to joke talk through it.
Oh, you want to keep going on that one? That was good. I'm
what else is not banned from the TSA? Apparently, body odor, free pass. Body odor next to me. Excuse me, Tanner, what seat are you in? All right, this is the world's smelliest man. We would like him to sit next to you and take his shoes off mid-flight. That's allowed. How about banning that?
See,
how about this? Why do you need a pocket knife on an airplane? Is a damn Boy Scout jamboree going to break out? We're going to start. Is the pilot going to need to whittle? And the pilot's going to say, you know what? My pocket knife is very dull. Anybody back there got a pocket knife? And you stand up and go, you know what? Funny. You should bring that up because the TSA allowed pocket knives. I have mine, and I can come up to the cockpit and get away from this smelly animal next to me.
See, you turned a whole little like a bad joke into a good 2-minute piece. Yeah?
Well, it's not. It's really not that impressive. It's because it's what I do for a living. Right. You're like, oh my God, the comedian made funny.
I'm easily impressed.
That comic made funny.
I had a really bad joke too. This was, and I didn't say this one on stage, but
Helium Comedy Club, 2 shows tonight. Come to the second one. Go on.
No, it's fine. You keep plugging all the way through it. I said,
bring your T-shirt money. I know you want a photo afterwards, but you know what? Just bring the $20.
Here, let me just ask you about the Ray Rice thing.
What do you want to know? I want to hear your bits first.
Oh, this is
he knocked out his wife. He suspended. Whatever.
Right.
Let's. How about the victim?
All right. This is such a bad joke.
This lady got knocked out and she married him. She's got like Stockholm syndrome. It's horrible.
Do you think Roger Goodell should be let go though, or
he needs to step down? He's become Nixon. It's awful.
Really?
All the concussions. He banned celebrating. He banned fun.
Right.
You can't dunk a goalpost. You can't. If you could, you'd be the world's strongest man. You'd be Mark Henry from the WWE. You can't dunk a football over the goalpost, but it's just you can knock out your wife and get 2 weeks. But if you smoke pot or if you take Adderall, you're out for 8 weeks. Like everything's cockamamie. You can't hit a defenseless. It doesn't make any sense. Last night I'm watching the Ravens-Steelers game and it was like you can't hit a defenseless receiver, and it's like running backs can't lead with the crown of their helmet. I'm like, what are they giving birth? Who says crown unless you're a king or there's something coming out of a vagina like a baby? Like, oh, he's crowning. See, I made it so you could play it.
Do you believe
there's no other word combination that I could have said that where you wouldn't have had to dump out? I had to bleep
it.
Yeah.
Do you believe that they never saw the video?
We're out of time. This is the brew. You listen. No. But.
Do you believe that they didn't see the video until last week? Earlier this week?
I never, this on Jay Mohr Sports on 620, Rip City Radio, I never
nice
deal,
plug.
Well, it's, people want to hear it. If I don't know if I said if people want to hear it, they should know where to find it.
Nobody listens to this, so.
I don't like dealing with what ifs and maybes. It's a very lazy radio. You just go, do you think the commissioner knew? And then you just sit back and answer phones for 3 hours. Like when I know something, I'll go right down the rabbit hole. But I get very uncomfortable with like maybe this, maybe that, maybe this. I'll do it about like games, like this could happen, this matchup. But as far as the commissioner goes, if he saw the video, obviously he has to step down. But let's say he never saw the video. How did Harvey Levin from TMZ outscoop the $55 billion industry that is the NFL? This guy makes a living getting pictures of Ryan Seacrest's junk on a surfboard from 1,000 yards.
Right.
Those are the people like, hey, look, it's The Rock at the airport, and he farted. We got it on TMZ. Like, you got scooped by those scumbags. Like, then you should step down for being completely poor at your job.
With all the resources that the NFL has, I just don't believe that they never saw it until Monday.
I think it's like Nixon. I think Nixon didn't break into the Watergate Hotel, but like underlings, and then when he was asked about it, it's plausible deniability, and then eventually you realize like something. The more this goes, he has to resign eventually because like Keith Olbermann's calling for his head,
right?
And then people like John Clayton on ESPN, who's just like an NFL mouthpiece, he's like kind of agreeing. Chris Berman, like Christine Brennan from USA Today, Mike Lupica, like all anyone is writing about is the commissioner. And what makes it awful is, I'll make this very quick because it's going to be boring because it's a rock and roll station. People aren't talking about the games. The Patriots got worked by the Dolphins. Like, that's unheard of. Like, the Dolphins?
Right.
You know what a dolphin is? It's a gay shark. A dolphin beat Tom Brady. They sacked him 4 times. A bunch of gay sharks.
People should be talking about that, not this stupid controversy.
And no one's talking about it. And last night, of course, it's the Ravens and the Steelers. So then, how about the Ravens had Rihanna singing the national anthem? Like, how out to lunch are you that you get a lady who got her face caved in by Chris Brown to sing the national anthem 2 weeks after Ray Rice knocked out his wife? The video, I mean. I know it happened in April. But, yes, Roger Goodell needs to step down. And the new commissioner of football, Jay Mohr.
You think so, huh?
Yeah,
Jay Mohr,
I'm going to get everybody pregnant.
Everybody.
Tracy Morgan, new commissioner of football.
Helium, Tracy Morgan and Jay Mohr.
And Norm MacDonald will be there.
He'll be there, too.
That'd be good. I like your show, The Brew. Yeah.
Do you want to hear that really crappy joke I was telling you about?
Yeah, I do.
It's really bad.
Just stop. Right. Just do it.
What's a 1930s gangster's favorite periodic element?
First of all, already this is horrible. Because you have 1930s, nobody was alive or can even conceptualize what the 30s is.
Right.
Like when you say 50s, you're pushing it. 60s, we know hippies and music.
I told you it was bad.
And then you go gangster. So already I'm doing way too much math in my head when the lead-ins.
Right.
And then you're going to the periodic element chart. So ask me again.
All right. So what's a 1930s gangster's favorite periodic element?
What?
Copper.
It made me laugh. I gotta be honest with you. The fact that you just said it like that is funny.
Yeah.
Never.
So I get like on a scale of 1 to 10, I get like a 2?
No, that's a 0.
Okay.
Never have a joke that is in radio, you know this.
Yeah.
Never ask them a question that's a yes or no answer.
Right.
And that joke is like, boop, done. Like you can't tag that.
That you just move right on. And...
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's a lot like my career.
How do you feel about Cy Twombly's art and the revolution of the Bronze Age?
I don't even know what the hell that is, man.
Yeah, well, nobody knows what freaking, copper and periodic chart and 30s gangsters.
Jay Mohr, thank you for taking me down a peg.
Hey, copper.
Nah. It's not a helium, Chi.
It's not helium at all.
Nah.
I don't know why I sound like an old gay woman. I don't know. That didn't even make sense. I'm tired. I sound like an old gay woman. I meant to say an old lady.
Tonight, Jay Mohr, he will be at Helium.
Bring your T-shirt money. $20 bill. Get you that Warriors T-shirt. Rally hard, Portland.
You can also hear Jay Mohr's radio show on our sister station.
This is what I want you to do for real. Instead of promoting all that, I want you right now on your phone where you get Angry Birds and Candy Crush on my podcast, Mohr Stories. It's not the radio show. This is when I sit with David Lee Roth, Charlie Sheen, Nick Swartz, and all my friends in comedy.
I love Nick Swartz.
Duff from Guns N' Roses has been on like 3 or 4 times. Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols. You go on your phone right now, download the Mohr Stories app, and it'll be on your phone. It's completely free. And then on iTunes, if you want to review it, you write The Brew, and then I'll know you got it from here, and that'll make me happy. That's what I would like. People come to the show, but also listen to podcasts?
No.
Once you do it, change it. You don't mind traffic anymore because you're listening to I was listening to Nerdist talk to Tom Hanks for like 2 hours, and I was stuck in traffic in like Colorado. I didn't care.
Right.
Mohr Stories app, wherever you go on your phone to get apps. Do that for me. But I'll see you second show tonight, Portland.
Thank you for listening.
Christopher Walken enjoys The Brew.
See you.